It seems in 2026 that no matter wherever I look, everyone keeps telling me the world's on fire. If I look at the news, the world's on fire. If I open up any social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, the world's on fire. If I open up YouTube and I kind of start going through and looking at all the thumbnails, I have all these content creators or influencers talking about how the world's on fire. And it doesn't matter the industry, whether it's the auto industry, any industry, just everything's on fire. And for a while, I used to believe this stuff. This stuff used to really get into me because I doom scrolled just like everyone else. And then, for a while there, actually before TikTok came out, there was a minute there where I stepped back from most of social media, especially Facebook. When I first really got into social media, Facebook is where I spent a lot of my time. And when I just turned all that off, I stopped even opening up Instagram, and I would open up YouTube really for do-it-yourself videos. But once I stopped all that, I realized that my actual world was never on fire. Now the world up here was on fire, but my actual world around me, not on fire. Anytime I was, going to the gym, my 5 a.m. or 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. gym sessions, not on fire. Time with my son when he was 2, 3, 4, 5, even now when he's 6, it's grounded, centered, not on fire. Anytime I'm sitting at a deal, negotiating with a customer, we're kind of working on price, kind of going over some of the complaints about everything, and then we make it through and we close the sale. You know what? Everything's grounded and centered, not on fire. And that's because I'm actually in that world. The other world, the social media, all the rage, I'm not in. But the world I am in, I actually have influence, right? And it directly matters to me. And then I've realized that it's not that these fires aren't real. They are real. These things are going on with people, various people around the world. But it's not in the places where I live and I have direct influence. For example, the news cycle, I have no influence. Social media rage, I have no influence. These things just don't touch my life. The global headlines, I have zero influence over this stuff. Now, my gym time, I own that. My son, that's my responsibility. My job, I definitely control how I show up there, both for the people I work for and the people I work with and my customers. That's my standard. And you know what? That's mine entirely. Here's the thing. Most men are suffering because they're emotionally investing in fires that they can't control. And while they're doing this, they're neglecting the grounded, the real parts of the world surrounding them. And this is the world that they have control over. So while we're scrolling through all this doom and gloom, our actual discipline in the real world starts falling apart. So here we are, we have people who rage about the world while, say, relationships with their kids or their family deteriorates. We get stressed about headlines that we have no control over. Meanwhile, our sleep, our body, our mental clarity, all of this is collapsing, in real time, in our own, in the world that we can affect, right? That we actually have control in. And the thing is, this is what I found, and I found with many other men, that when we actually start focusing on what we can control, that the world here, that we have direct access and affects us and that we have influence in, anxiety actually drops. And the thing is, it's not because the world got any better, right? It's not like, all the headlines went away and anything changed. It's because stop living in the world that we can't control or have no influence over, and we start living in the one that we do have control over, the one that we have direct influence in. So what I'm saying is we don't, because we just have no control over it. It just, and it's not directly influencing us. So sure, a war over here may affect the prices of gas that we use to go to work, but we can't control that. And so if we just think about oh my God, this war is going on and the price of gases are going up, that's anxiety. But we have no control over it. Meanwhile, what we can do is we do have to fill our car up. We do have to pay for it. But then we can go to work and figure out we do our job good, and then we go home, we be good for our family, And if we need more money, we figure out how to get more money. This we have control over. Those gas prices, we have no control over. So take, for example, the gym, our family, our job. These are our standards. This is your standard. These are the places in your life that actually matter. All right. And when I say gym, I also want you to think about like, this is just your overall wellness. It's just overall health. But especially for men, I always find that gym time lowers cortisol, lowers anxiety, lowers depression, all of this, right? Gym time is fantastic. And so that's where I'm building. That's what my focus is. And that's why when I have, people that I know personally, in person around me, it's like they always seem like you're grounded. Like all these things are going on, but why are you so like calm and kind of cool about all this? And the thing is, I'm not cool with it, but I can't do anything about it. I can only control what's here. And so that's where I keep my focus on. And so I would really stress this to you if you're watching this and you feel like your world's on fire. Your world doesn't have to be on fire. It depends on where you want to live. So please think about that. Regardless of everything you see, regardless of, what you're hearing and all these other people, the world you live in is the world you have direct influence over and control over. And once you start exerting that into that world and stop feeding our minds with everything that's going on out here we have no control over, that's when we start living in the real world. Anxiety goes down and we start creating our own standard. And that's exactly what I'm building.